has a somewhat looser feel to it.
Yeah, it's got an almost improvisational tone.
Hey everybody, how are we doing? How is everyone doing? Can you hear and see me? I don't know. I always say that to start class because every Walker says hi. That's so awesome. Thank you guys and gals for liking the intro. Good to see you, Andrew, Nick, Carson, Mohammed. We've got new intros. We've got new stuff. You may have saw me say this that I think I have it up. Awesome, Zach. So good. Just glad you like it, Joseph and Colin right there. So good. Colin, you're my hero. Colin, and we were talking about some cool stuff. We've got cool things planned. I may have tweeted Jack Black yesterday. Don't worry. My Twitter accounts, don't worry about it. We don't want to bug Jack Black, but I'd love it if he came in and hosted our Kahoot or played. I was like, hey, you're good at Tony Hawk, but can you beat our students in a Kahoot? So we've got a lot of fun prepared for this semester. I've got new intros. We've got new things going on. And so I do want to say this, though. If you ever see a video like on one of our lectures, it's because we got copyright claimed. It's not a copyright strike. For anyone who knows the ins and outs of how YouTube works, there's copyright claims and copyright strikes. You don't want to get copyright strikes. That'll make it so I can't stream on the channel. Copyright claims are when someone takes and says, hey, I'm going to put an ad on your video because you're using my content. So I try to avoid that with the things we use. I've got a really cool Marvel intro, and the Marvel intro hit a copyright claim because it used Alan Silvestri's music. So I just want to, just in case anyone sees an ad on yesterday's video, I didn't put an ad on yesterday's lecture, and my intent is to never do that on lectures because we don't need an ad on a lecture. So that's what's going on. But how is everyone doing? Miles, good to see you. Luke, good to see you. Good to see everybody. We're going to start today talking about extra credit, because what better way to be the second day of class and to start talking about some extra credit. So who wants to learn our extra credit system? It's right behind me right here. We've got common, rare, ultra, epico. We've got all this great extra credit. You can see behind my head. And so right now you can get 20 points extra credit by playing a game of tag. We're going to learn how to kind of tag someone in the comments. So if you're watching right now, and this is the important thing about watching live, you learn how to interact, you get to practice what you're doing. I want you to tag someone. Like, watch this. I'm going to tag Miles. I'm going to say, hi, Miles. And I get 20 points. Now, you can't get like 20 points for continuously tagging people. But right now, I just want you to tag someone and just say good morning to them, say hello, ask them how their day is going. Just be like, hey, see, Colin tagged me. Timothy tagged Colin right there. We're tagging Benjamin. Ask them a question. Be like, hey, how's your day going? How'd your first day go? We were dubbed Stat Nation over the summer, and I kind of like that a lot. So we've called ourselves Stat Nation. If you know, we've got the dancing crab rave going on right there. Got some good mornings in the chat. Everybody's tagging some people. So tag your friends, tag someone you don't know. Just ask them how their day is going. We're here to bring positivity. That's what we do. And you see, here's the thing. How are you? I love it. I love it. You can ask Colin and everyone else, because unfortunately, you may know I'm not at UT right now. I'm going to throw 100 points out right now for the first person who says Brian is in this state. Who knows what state Brian is in right now? What state is Brian physically in right now? Which I hope doesn't cause too much confusion in my head. Texas, Garrett is right for 100 points right there. I'll throw Colin 50. We got New York. I'm from New York. I'll throw Muhammad 20 points for the New York right there. And so you see, I'm just throwing out these points. Now, what you need to do is you need to have your notebook out during class. I can't state this enough. Today's gonna be a little bit more fun, a little bit more freeform. We're gonna talk about what we've got going on. I'm gonna answer all your questions right here, and I'm gonna make a ton of you mods. We'll talk about that in a moment here. But this is meant to be fun, entertaining, and have a good time. I actually lived in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, so pretty interesting right there. But yeah, I actually lived in North Carolina. This is 7:10 a.m. for me. Yep. And so I got up at 5:30 this morning to prepare and get ready. So, but I got it under control. I was like, okay, I'm getting up early. I got this. And I don't know. I was like, yeah, you ever get this first day jitters? You're like, okay, it's first day. I still get it as a teacher. You may not realize it, but I still get the first day. Like, it's first day of class. We're going to do this. It's going to go well. So we got this. I'm there for you. We're excited. Nick, you're awesome. And so with this right here, when I'm throwing you extra credit, I need you guys to be honest with me right now. And if you're not honest, I'll know. I know these things. I want you to have your notebook out. And in your notebook, this is my notebook. It's my phone. But I want you to put, when you get points, I just want you to mark like in the top right corner, like 20 points. I want you to mark your points in your notebook. Who has their notebook on next to them? Benjamin, I'm with my fiance. She's a resident in veterinary medicine. And so I am with her. and it's really great. And UT says, "Hey Brian, you're great." They say you stream. They don't say you're great at stream. They say you stream. So we're gonna let you stream online and do your fun stuff. And we've had good success with this. College Station. Yep. Oh, Carson, yeah, you're from. Is it you or Walker's from Texas? But if you have your notebook out next to you, I want you to say, "I have my notebook," and you get 20 points. Who's got their notebook out? Yeah, it is Walker. I was like, pretty sure, because Walker, Texas Ranger. Who's got their notebook out next to them for 20 points? iPad is next to me. That is great right there. Mohammed, I'm throwing you 50 points right there. I like that. Mohammed's like, I'm taking notes on my iPad. Save the planet. Mohammed, great stuff. Bunch of people got their notebook out next to them, 20 points. And always feel free to give those freeform answers. I like to see those. And if you can't tell, I'm watching the chat constantly. Now, I obviously don't see everything, but there's a really good way. Does anyone for 100 points have a really good way if they have a question to kind of draw my attention to that question? Like, let's say you're like, Brian doesn't see my question. Brian keeps missing my question. What's a really good way to draw Brian's attention? Boom, Nick gets 50 points right there. You are right. And Benjamin and Thacker and Riley. We're just tossing out these 50 points right here. So, and Carson tagged me, he gets 50, and so did Andrew. So, and Daniel and Austin and Sam. So good to have everybody. I'm gonna make a few more mods right here. So you might be asking, what are mods? And feel free to ask questions while we do this. I'll open it up for questions here in a moment. But with this, you can, as a mod, if someone comes in here and they're disruptive, which we really hope it's never a student, I'll talk to a student if they're disruptive, like I'll probably email them and say, hi, we try to stay positive towards each other. We try to stay somewhat on track during class. You can crack jokes. We've really never had a problem with like cracking jokes, having fun, people asking random questions at times. Random as in like fun and entertaining. So there's a good way for us to stream online, and we've had a very productive class. So I know Carson's been here. Cullen was right before we went to this new online structure, but Carson was where we switched, but I was already doing this online structure. So Carson, what are your thoughts? Do you have any comments for them? Because you've experienced this before. This is your second time experienced this. Carson, so thank you so much. And so you can put your comments, you can say what's going on, you can ask questions to each other. That's what we do in this class, is we help each other out, we ask questions. And I really liked it when they came up with Stat Nation. I was like, that's awesome. It's kind of a cool community name. So this extra credit right here with what you're getting goes towards your final points at the end of the semester. This is so huge. I'm going to go down to this right here. Oh, we got to change this. This is from yesterday. Don't put 201. So this right here is, what do you get with these points? You can get 0.5 points on your average, 1 point on your average, or 2 points on your average. Now, you can only get a maximum of 500 a week. No matter how you're getting points, which we'll go over the structure in a moment, when you enter in your points to the sheet, which I'll make sure, if you can't find the sheet, tell me you can't find it, try to enter them in weekly, but you can only get a maximum of 500 a week. And you think about this, how many weeks do you need to get maxed extra credit to get the total max amount of points in the class? How many weeks do you need to get max extra credit to get the maximum? That's awesome. David is right. Colin is right. Colin and David 50. So you might max out. You might max out for the day. Be like, I maxed out for the day. That's all right. And sometimes we let people give each other their points. But you're right, 10 weeks. And that sounds like a lot, but I try to give out as much extra credit as I can if you're here live, if you're interacting. Like Nick, Joseph, and Benjamin, you get 50 points. So does Muhammad and Carson right there, and David. So especially at the start, I want you interacting. This is the key to class. If you're here, Evan gets 50 points. If you're talking, you get points. Now, we're going to cross our fingers. Hopefully, let me try this. Streamlabs, let me see here. Streamlabs, are you awake today? Streamlabs, are you awake? I didn't click the CloudBot yet. Let me click CloudBot. I got it working. Let me make sure CloudBot is on. Okay, it says CloudBot is on now. It might not have been on before. And so, Streamlabs is working. I have no idea why it wasn't working, but Streamlabs is working. Probably a lot of you don't have points yet. Oh, you see, look. Oh, those are, well, those are points from previous semesters. I might have to reset your points, Carson, or something. Should we take a vote? But everyone's checking their points now. Streamlabs probably going to be a bit overwhelmed. But I think you also have points from previously watching. So you have your points from previous streams. I'm from Still One yesterday. Awesome, Jackson. Why are you not a mod? Jackson, let's make you a mod right here. You can tell them all about this. Jackson, we got hit with a copyright claim for that Marvel intro. So go check out that Marvel intro from yesterday, Peel, if you want. Hannah, let's make you a mod right here. So these Streamlab points you do not need to track. These Streamlab points you do not need to track. They're controlled by how long you watch the stream. Does that make sense to everybody? These Streamlab points you do not need to check. But can someone explain Streamlab? So Streamlabs is a bot in the background that just kind of like reads the chat. Not in a bad way. It just like, we can do certain commands right here. Like I think I can do quote one. Let me try this. Quote one. I think it knows quote one, but it's currently working on other stuff. I have quotes in here. It runs a bunch of different things, but I can also do things like voting. You see, stats don't lie. The statistician does. There's my quote right there from Brian Stevens. So I have different commands I can put in here. It's basically like running code. So if you think about what Streamlabs is, it's basically a bot that runs code. Like here, let's give this a shot. Ready? Let's take a poll right here. What is better, Marvel or DC? Colin might have some bias on this one, but you can take a vote right here. I'm glad you like it, Muhammad, right there. I'm gonna see. I'll bias everyone if I vote. You have to do vote, and then you have to vote the one you want. You have to do capital vote or capital. You have to do exclamation mark vote, and it's either D or M. So, Carson, you got to get that vote in because you need to somehow. Yep. And so do exclamation mark vote for the one you want. Yep. That's it. And so what's really awesome about this is I can poll people in the audience. Oh my gosh, if you're voting in this, you get 20 points right now. So these are the things I can do with Streamlabs is I can pull up these polls and then I'll complete the poll right here and we can see the results of the poll. So I do this. Can we double vote? You can only vote once. It only tracks your vote. It tracks your vote by your name. So you can only vote once. And you see, it tells you right there that Marvel M was the #1 vote. Oh no, Cody, it didn't get in the last moment. Might have, but I can do these types of things right here. I can do polls. I've got true false questions set up. I've got ABCD questions set up. So that way I can just do instant polls when I ask a question. So this is what F in chat for failed vote. There we go. So Cody, you get 20 points right there. So I like it. I like it. So with this in mind, this is what's going on. You do not need to track your Streamlab points. You do not need to track your Streamlab points. You need to track the points I shout out to you. When I shout out 20 points, write it down. When I shout out 50 points, write it down. 100 points, write it down. 200 points, the mega, the epical points, you get those points. Now here's some other ways to get points. Let's say you're not watching live. If you're not watching live, you can still leave comments below videos. And so I want to say something really big right here. And Carson's right. You get points every 5 minutes for being active in the stream. So come to the streams, just be active. And I don't think it turns you idle for a little bit. So don't worry. As long as you're not like leaving, coming back, it should be fine. But for just being here in the stream, you get points for just being here. It tracks it by how long you watch. You can leave comments below the videos after they post. So these are comments below the video. And I'll give 50 points if you leave a comment. A little bit of the honor system, just leave a comment. You can also like our videos. You don't get anything for liking. I didn't want to put points to liking the video, but one thing I want to point out right here, and this is really big for the class, is that we've actually been making like $5 a day lately. We've been making close to, on average, $5 a day. If we make $5 a day on this channel, how much money do we make a year? Who can do that math? If we make $5 a day, how much money do we make a year on this channel? And I'll tell you what we do with the money. That's the fun part. I'm doing the math right now too. It's a decent amount of money. $5. Yep. Steven right there. 50 points. Steven right there. 18. I guess if it's a leap year, right? One of these might be a leap year. Brian with big pockets. But what we've already been doing is we've been giving out some of the money via Kahoots. So I've already Pizza Party Kahoot. Yep. We've already been doing, since we can't do pizza parties, I'll do pizza parties when we come back. If the world exists in a way where I can do pizza parties, we'll be doing pizza parties. But right now I've been sending out, I sent the first winner of a Kahoot an Amazon gift card. So last week someone won the Kahoot and I sent them an Amazon gift card. So we got this, Abby. We got this, Abby. We got this. And so we stay positive. We got it. Just get it. Positivity will win. And with that, I want all this money to go to the students. So do not worry if you see an ad, the money goes back to the students, unless it's like Marvel claiming my video, then it goes to Marvel, which that's not horrible either. But with this, Do not think that Brian, I don't want anyone to think like Brian's getting rich off us watching the videos. No, 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 no. I just want the money to go to students. And if we ever make a lot of money, I want it to go to scholarships. My dream for this channel is that we have like $1,000 scholarship that we give out every semester. So let's make that happen. And you don't have to like videos, you don't have to comment on videos, but it generally can help the algorithm if people are like, oh, this channel is getting likes and watches and views. So good stuff right there. You do get points for commenting. Leave a comment about, a question for the class. You can also do this right here. And so with this, let me put it this way. We have a new segment this semester, and I'm really excited about it. It's called Last Week, I Asked My Students. So this is a new segment I have where when you ask questions with this tag, I might mention it in a video. Please note, I should put this in red right here for the next class. So comments may be read if you use this tag. So after this video posts, and I may give you additional bonus for it, I may read your comment in a video and answer it. And so let's watch our new intro video for this right here.
Leave your business analytics questions below, and I'll respond quickly or in the next episode of Louis Yam.
Okay, we're back. So I have too much time on my hands. But with this, you can leave your questions below the video and I will answer them. So awesome. I'm glad you guys like it. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Michaela and everyone. You guys are crazy. With this right here, I'm making more people mods. And so that's some of the new stuff right here we got going on. But go ahead and leave your comments underneath the video and I will make those. That bouncing ball effect was fun to make. I made it in After Effects. I did not make the Marvel intro though. I commissioned that one. When's the new album drop? I did work with a MIDI file. I created my own MIDI for the Lawai intro, and that is Jack's Film singing it. Cameo. Thank you, Cameo. So anyways, that's a new thing we got going on. If you ask questions, we might start class with answering some questions. I might pick them out. Leave that tag on the question. It might get read out. So, it's a possibility I might be reading your questions. If you attend a live event, you might get 50 points. And I do want to mention this. I was talking to Colin about this. I'd love it if we got Gaston from Beauty and the Beast to help me co-host a Kahoot. That's one of my goals. We might even have Julio co-host. Julio was in the live stream last night. If you don't know Julio Bourbon, he's a former UT baseball player. He was on our World Series of college baseball team, and he's been in the World Series, like the World Series. He's been in College World Series and World Series and played for the Texas Rangers. Really great guy. Maybe he'll co-host with me, but he's totally hilarious, totally fun guy, and so nice, and has that Vol spirit, which that's what we want to have. Vols help Vols. That's what we talk about. I have two favorite sayings. This is the last thing I'm going to say on this. Vol means all, and Vols help all. So that's what we do. Vols help Vols, and Vol means all. So no, Vol means all, and Vols help Vols. There we go. Okay, I'm good. And so, oh, that's awesome, Colin. So if you know anyone, once again, I reached out to someone. I reached out to a football player. I haven't heard back from them, but don't be like, you have to do this. It's just, if they want to do it, it's totally cool. And we're just open to it. So we might have special guests. I want to keep it fun. I want to keep it interesting. And if anyone wants to join in on the fun, they're more than welcome to. Okay, and with this, your Streamlab points add on to these points. You do not need to track them. You do not need to track your Streamlab points. So when you do exclamation mark points, which I've got a ton of points because I'm always here, you do not need to track these points. You can get 500 points for completing a data camp course, and you do need to enter those in. So data camp, you can get points for doing that. So let's say you just can't attend live. One of the great things you can do, don't reset yours. You know what we should do? Yeah, Carson, you don't have a ton. I don't know. You got it, Carson. Well, I think I have to reset yours in the interest of fairness. Okay, I won't reset yours, Carson, but I will make your standard. I think you had like 470 or something. You only got, yeah, I'll make your standard a little bit higher in the interest of fairness. So wait. So we've already finished a data camp module. That adds on. Let's say, no, you know what I should do? You can enter that in any week you don't get your 500, Timothy. So you could, I guess this week, last week? Yeah. Don't worry. I want you to make sure you get those. if somehow at the end of the semester you haven't entered those points, just enter them in. And I can actually track those. So if someone's entering in a ton of points, I never see them in the chat. I never see comments from them. I might notice it. It's a lot to keep track of, and it's a little bit of the honor system. So don't try to like, there you go. But does that make sense to everybody right there? You get points for doing data camp. You get points for leaving comments. What's the whole point of this? The point is to get you interacting. So if you're here in chat right now, and if you're interacting, that's the goal of all this. And so I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and the easiest thing to get for even doing 1 week, you basically get the curve in the class. Now, another 20-point thing right here. Here's the time to interact. I'll send out that link, Cody, right there. Let me send it out. I'll send it out via the class link. I'll send out the sheet and put your name as it appears on YouTube. So if you have a slightly different spelling of your name or something on YouTube, or you use a different name on YouTube, which you're allowed to do, make sure you enter that in. And Carson might be right. It might still be on Canvas. If I haven't sent it out, I'll send it out again. So, yep, is it there, Thacker? Thacker and Carson and Cody right there, 50 points. But here comes a big question right here. I want you to put this in the chat. Do not ask Brian to raise your grade. 20 points if you say that right now. Trying to get everyone to their 200 for the day. These are just the common tasks, the easy tasks. Do not ask Brian to raise your grade. Who's got this in? I'm going to give 200 points first person who writes it right here. Michaela right there, 200 points. Do not ask Brian to raise your grade. That's huge. It's like, I'm like, thank you for emailing me. Anyone who's met me knows I'm very nice. But your grade is your grade. And so I'm like, you made what you made. One of my favorite emails was, it's my favorite, but it's like my least favorite, was, yo, man, I need a C. And someone pointed out yesterday, they were like, why didn't they ask for an A? Like, hi, Brian, I need an A. Like, but the email was, yo, man, I need a C. And it was almost a decade ago that I got that email. And 1, don't ask for grade increases. 2, I don't mind being called Brian. I actually like being called Brian. So if you see everyone's calling me Brian, I like that. That's what I've been called my whole life. As soon as the day people refuse to call me Brian and they have to call me Mr. Stevens, that's a sad day. 200 points for the first person who guesses my age. 200 points first person who guesses my age. This gets sadder each semester. 200 points first person who guesses your age. 40, no, Luke, no. Evan's right. Evan's right. Evan gets the points. Let me see, wait, I'm going to give 50 points for Luke right there. 50 points. Michaela's already maxed out. So Zach gets 50 and Garrett and Hood. But there we go right there. Oh no, 42 was the first guess. Oh no, it makes me sad. Okay, we're having some fun. We're just messing around here. Okay, let's talk about more serious stuff. The more serious thing is how to email me. So who has emailed me and how long did it take me to respond to you? 20 points. How long did it take me to respond to you? Timothy, that's awesome. 50 points, Timothy, right there. Who has emailed me? 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes, 5 seconds, less than 20, 5 minutes or less, 1 minute. Wow, I'm doing well this semester. Maybe 5 minutes. Okay, wait. I just don't want people to think to hold me to that standard. One thing I do want to mention is someone emailed me one time. They said, hey, Brian, I emailed you in the morning. You haven't emailed me all day. Like I expected you to email me back. There's days where I'm teaching, like Tuesday, Thursday, I teach from the morning to the afternoon, and I might not get to emails till later at night, but I email as quickly as I can. And so, especially on the weekend even, that's actually one of the best times to email me. Don't worry about emailing me like late at night. If it's 4 a.m., it doesn't matter. My phone doesn't bling when I get an email. So you can email me at 4 a.m. I'll wake up, I'll see it in the morning. You're not going to wake me up. Someone gives you a hard time listening. Colin, you're the best. So this right here, Colin, I saw a tweet from UT and you're still on the banners, and that's awesome. I hope you don't mind me mentioning that, but I miss walking around UT. There's so many things, man. I miss it. So, and we're Stat Nation. We're positivity. That's what we do. We're happy. And if I do miss your email, let's say it's especially if it's a day, email me back if it takes more than a day. Have you ever clicked on an email and it's marked as read, and then you forget that, and then you don't respond to it? It's happened to me too. So please tell me if I don't respond to your email within a day. That's usually where there's been a mistake or something right here. Colin is the guy. Colin is the guy. He's awesome. And as I keep saying, we try to be as positive as possible. There's reasons to be sad and stuff, but I know I've met Colin, I've met Carson. Who else have I met here before? I think Ahud and Ahud, have we met? I'm trying to think. And then Colin and I are actually from the same state, and I never knew who he was till I got here. That's awesome. Tiger, we've met. Yeah. Statoon and Muhammad. That's exactly. I was like, Muhammad. Yeah. Yep. We met virtually on Discord. There you go. Oh, we did. And Statoon and Cody. Yeah, I see so many names. Political? What? I have no idea what you're talking about. I know nothing about politics. I met your brother. That's awesome. Statoon 1. Yeah, Thacker. I was like, I know that name too. And so Business Analytics Society, Brock. That's awesome. And for those who know, I usually have a candy bowl in my office. People come in, we just chill, and that's what we're trying to construct with the Discord. So let's talk about that real briefly here. This is our last thing. We'll hop to the other screen. We'll talk about Canvas, Setsuo and Kahoot sessions from fall 2018. Abby, that is awesome. That is awesome, Abby. 50 points, all those answers right here. We're getting everyone to max extra credit today. So the last thing is the Discord. The Discord links expire. We want to make sure we kind of keep the server just to students in our class. Please email me if you need the Discord invite. Please email me if it doesn't work. Sometimes the links go old, they expire, but we're trying to build a happy, healthy community on the Discord also. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically like GroupMe with also Zoom. Has anyone ever had a GroupMe for a class? And here's the thing that bums me out is there might be a GroupMe and you might not know about it for your class. So I was like, why don't we just make our own? Why don't we make our official Statwell 1 Discord and then, or 320, 474 Discord, and then people can join into it and it's kind of out there. Everyone's like, oh yeah, there's an official Discord for the class. And then you can just meet up with people. You can ask questions. You can easily reach out to people. Has anyone ever had a GroupMe for a class? Anyone ever use GroupMe? It's very similar to GroupMe because it's got the text channels. So you can do that. You can use GroupMe. Nick's used it. Yep. And I think I have the long latency on today. I'm going to fix that for the next one. I think my stream settings had long latency. I can't fix it now while streaming, but next class we're going to ultra low latency. All the time. Love GroupMe. Exactly. 20 points, all those answers right there. Tyler and Emily and Joseph. Good to see you all here. And Austin, let's make awesome. Yes, but never have used Discord. It's very similar, just like a GroupMe and stuff like that, but it's also got the voice chat channels. So we use it all the time. So yep, very, very similar. So check it out if you haven't. It's pretty easy to use, and it's mainly what we make of it. If we use it more, if we post more questions in there, then there's more use. So feel free to be on there. And Zach says, easy to learn, you will enjoy it. Yep, it's pretty easy. And the more we use it, the more we get used to it, the more we help out each other. During this summer, people would meet on there and do their homework assignments together. You will be using R for this class. Let's start talking about syllabus here. Let's hop over. I'm going to go to main screen and let me pull up the syllabus. Here we go. Let's go over to the main screen. Oh no, wrong main screen. That's lecture screen. Click the wrong button. Okay. So yes, I'll send it. Carson, email me. I'll send it out to you. So that way it's not quite in the video link and I'll send it out to you. So email me. And oh no, I didn't mention that. Last thing before we get to syllabus, I had it on here. Class is not over. Class is not over. So the last thing right here is how to email me. So you don't have to put your initials in the chat if you don't want. You can put initials here just in case, like you're using a different name. I don't know how to spell initials. But you need to do this format to email me. It's not the end of the world if you don't, but this makes my life a lot easier. So with this right here, and email me if you need a link, or I'll send it out again too. But with this right here, oh, thank you, Abby. Try to make some cool transitions right there. With this right here, this is how you email me. Do some practice in the chat for 20 points. You don't have to put your actual initials if you don't want. You can put initials here. You can put in fake initials if you want. But when you email me, use your real initials. This helps me respond as quickly as possible. So give this a shot in the chat right now. Like my emails for Brian would be BS320, and it'd be Brian Joseph Stevens, and it'd be like, I like it right there. I need help from Andrew. And then make sure to put the 320 on it. Make sure the 320 will be huge. Make sure to put the 320s because then I'll know you're in 320, not 474. So that's huge right there. So you could put need help or Discord link, things like that. Like, yeah, Discord link. So this is how it would work. And that immediately lets me know what's going on. The title basically tells me what's going on. And you don't need the always, oh, that's so crazy. Your initials look like the days of the week. I was like, some people do that sometimes. And so, yeah, I was like, wait, no, that's the initials. So first day of class, all this great stuff right here. You know now how to email me. And that's I'll respond quickly. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Marvel or DC. Totally Marvel. DC's got Batman. This is actually a Robert Downey Jr. inspired shirt right here. He did an Omay's campaign, and I bought the shirt. Class is not over. So what's going on right here? What do we got going on? We are now to the syllabus portion of the class. And one thing I do want to mention, we're going to go a little meta right here. After this video is over, what I do, and this is what's really cool, if you go back to watch the video, you will see, there we go, we're live streaming right now. You will see that underneath the video, you can actually go to the time stamps on it. So you can see what I'm covering. So does everyone see it's got getting to know, that's the general questions we just did. Here's the syllabus discussion. And then we did chapter 1 for yesterday. And then we just class over. So I mark the videos and I put down what we're doing in the videos afterwards. So you can come back to this stream afterwards and see a little bit of organization. And there's the timestamps. Exactly, Thacker. And feel free to put timestamps in the comments below. That helps me too. And I'll timestamp stuff too. So that way, if you're like, hey, Brian mentions this at this time, I might add it to the timestamps and then you'll literally in the video. So if you want to put in timestamps, there was a student for 201 who did that for me for the whole semester. And I was like, you are the best. You better believe they got max extra credit. Don't worry. They were just, now everyone's going to send me timestamps. But I was like, thank you so much. That was Alex and they helped out a ton. So, yep, Ahood, that's what we want. We want to be super helpful. Awesome stuff. Mohammed, we met on Zoom. Didn't we meet on Zoom, Mohammed, before the semester even started? And you told me you were in 320. So, yeah. And so, yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Sorry. So many names. I was like, yeah. One of the best things that YouTube has done. I totally agree, Joseph. It's a huge help. I love it. And so with that, let's talk about what's going on with this class right now. We should have a decent feel for it. Oh, is it? Yes. Oh, you're taller, right? Muhammad, you're taller, and you're in the 201 class with the other Muhammad, right? You're taller, right? Is that correct? I know exactly who you are. You lived close to me when I lived in the fort. It's so sad now. I know, yeah, because you're like building down. Yep. So I think I know exactly who you are now. So yeah. And I met with other Muhammad right before class started. See, and your guys' names are so similar and you're in the same class. So I was like, okay. Memories. I miss my students. I miss seeing all my students. I miss saying hey to people. The fort. The fort. What? Not that I lived a decade in the fort. I can tell you all the fort. Need to come back and be king of the fort. I don't know if such thing exists. That's horrible. I can't be king of the fort. King of the fort cannot be chosen. You can't declare yourself king of the fort. But I miss it. It's UT's great. If you can't tell. And his last little thing, I love UT. I hope you guys are loving it too. I've been at UT for 2 decades now, and I really feel that there is the volunteer spirit. I really feel that people care about each other. See, there you go, right there. Thacker saying their doors are always open. People really care about each other. It's a very welcoming community, and so I've felt it for 20 years. That, gosh, I'm getting old. Anyways, technically, okay, it's been 19 years technically. Okay. Let's talk about the class a little bit more. Here it is, syllabus time. Here, I'm gonna do this real quick so I know. Watch this. I'm gonna show the class is over thing again. I'm gonna like timestamp it for myself. Okay, there we go. There's the timestamp when I put this in the video. Let's talk about the syllabus now. Colin, don't you do a Thanos reference while we do this? 20 points, Colin, right there. Okay, cracking me up. So with this right here, it's time for syllabus. Time to get serious. Here we go. Serious face. And so we meet on YouTube. You got that. We're going to have fun. Today's a fun day. Dr. Emery, he also teaches 320. Great teacher, great guy. And so he teaches the other sections, which are in sync with ours. All sections are in sync, perfectly balanced, as all things should be. And so what is 320? Well, 320 is all about business analytics. We are going to cover the basics of business analytics and also regression modeling. It's called regression modeling, but we're basically doing what's up, Walker? And so it is regression modeling. The textbook for the course is Dr. Petrie's Introduction to Regression Mining, Regression Modeling. Can't speak today. And one of the great things is this book is very easy to read. Does anyone have a copy of this book right here? Walker, it's so good to see you. I miss you guys coming to office hours. Has anyone got the book yet? Does anyone have a used copy of it? Does anyone have, I'll mention after class. Does anyone have a used copy? It's great, other than not going outside. Does anyone have a copy of the book yet? I do. Ahood and Lucas. What do you think of it so far? Have you opened it up? I mean, it's about yay thick. It's not like a crazy book, but I think it's pretty easy to read. It's got a lot of graphics, and it's written just in a way that you would be easily able to understand it. So I like the book. You do not have to get it. I said through the announcement that it is not required for the class, so you are not required to get the book. So if money's tight, I totally understand. We post a homework packet, so do not worry if you don't have it. Is that the one on the Hollywood movie? Which one? Oh, it's from Avengers. It's Thanos. So computing, everyone, you know what I've noticed, and I'm really proud, the amount of people who have turned in assignment 0 is astounding. I know I've already put out an assignment, which is kind of crazy before class even started, but how long did it take people to do assignment 0? 20 points in the class right now. How long did it take you to do assignment 0? Awesome. I'll see you, Walker. Swing by more. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, less than 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. This is awesome. 20 points, all these answers right here. So if you have not done assignment 0 yet, if you have not done, there we go, Waverly, yes. I think Waverly and I met, and we got, I think it was it wouldn't, I think the RMDs had problems or something. I've helped a few people so far. I've met with a few people, and I think the longest it took was like 20, 25 minutes with someone because their packages wouldn't install into R. So if you have problems, please let me know. Now, don't wait until the night it's due. There we go, Michaela, we helped out too. Yep. In the YouTube playlist, and I'm going to put out weekly videos. Okay, might be blind, but I didn't know find the instructions for RStudio. Yeah, let me drop those in the chat right now. So if you are trying to download R and download RStudio, so give me a half second right here. I have to go over to the YouTube channel. I'm going to drop this in the chat. So if you are downloading R or RStudio, you need to go to, here it is, getting started in R playlist. And there are ads on these videos. I've seen the same ad like 50 times now. It's like a person being like, hey, do you want a code? It's like, oh, they're putting coding ads on our video. And so these do have ads, but once again, it all goes back to the channel. So that's how to install R and RStudio. If you get stuck on anything, please let me know. All right, Colin, you killing it. That's awesome. 10 minutes after watching the RStudio help videos. Yep. And then also I put out a video, how to do assignment 0. And I'm going to try to put out more help videos. I have a suggestion channel in the Discord. If you have a question about how to do something in R, please let me know. My goal in this class is that RStudio is not the hard part of this class. If you talk to anyone who's taking this, they will tell you R is not the hardest part. And Mohammed, I would suggest the native one. If you're running a Windows Mac computer, if it's natively Mac, I'd use it on the Mac. Either one's fine though. Great question, Mohammed. 50 points, Mohammed, right there. And so once again, I think a lot of people are really afraid of this class because of R and they've never coded before. Let's write our first bit of code. If you've never coded before, you can simply go into R and go right here. And all you need to do to code is type in 2 plus 2. Now you've coded. There you go. That's code. You can type in 8 raised to 3. That's code also. How about if we type print Brian? That's code also. So we do start out with the very basics. How about this? Let's throw out a 200-point question. Who can figure out what this code right here will do? Who can figure out what this code, I'll make it even bigger so you can see it. Who can figure out what this code I'm highlighting will do when I run it? We'll talk more about running code, but I want people to not fear coding at the start of this class. It's new. Evan, I'll take that for 200 points. And Timothy and Nick and Colin and Mohammed are all at 200. Great job. Boom. But who can figure out what this code will do? I want you to tell me all the numbers this code will do. You can cheat if you go to R. You can do it. Who can, if you've watched the videos, you'll know what that code does. Who can tell me what that code will print out? Close, 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 close. Evan, so close, Evan. Evan, you're at 200. So close. You guys are close. People are very close. Winston, excellent job. We're breaking the rules for Winston. Winston's at 250 today. I'm going to allow myself to break the rules once every class. And so Winston, you're at 250. That means we broke the rules. Now Winston's the only one who gets the rules broken for them. You can only get 200, but we broke the rules for Winston right there. So Winston, you're at 250. Remember, you can't, sometimes I'll break the rules for somebody, but you get the rules broken. You're at 250 for the day. This class is crazy. You never know what's going to happen. So we'll run the code and we'll make sure. If you notice, these codes print the same thing to the screen. We'll raise this up a little bit so you can see, but these codes do the same thing. In this one, I've put the arguments so you can see them. And in this one, I'm using the default. Now, there's a good bit to learn. If anyone's lost, don't worry. We go slower than this when we get to coding. We'll go through what our sequence is, how do we make them, but does this look super complicated right now on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being this is the easiest thing you've ever seen, to 10 being this is impossible, Brian? Where does this land on the 1 to 10 scale of easiest to impossible? 3, I like 3, I like 3. Like, it's a little new stuff going on right here. Like, I get it. Okay, my brain's processing it. 5, a little challenging. I'm cool with that. I like it. Matthew, 50 points right there for that 5 right there. So 7, I've never seen coding before. Don't worry, Thacker. We've got lots of videos. And then also, how can you get points in the class and get better at coding? How can you get points in the class and get better at coding? 200 points first person. How can you get points in the class and get better at coding? How can you get points in the class? Data Camp, David right there. Perfect. And Daniel. Oh, and go to Office Hours, Carson, 200 points. Love it. So you guys are at your 200. Sometimes I max people out on points really quickly. I try to not give the epical points as too quickly. Remember, you can only get 200 points max per class, 500 max per week. So make sure to, I could technically give you 2,000 points in one class, but okay with that right there. So here's the Zoom sessions. Here's the YouTube channel, all this great stuff. Email etiquette, we've went over that. Discord server, we've gone over that. It's all in the syllabus. Canvas, of course, is on Canvas. Assignments. No, here's the biggest thing. 20 points. And I know probably a bunch of people are maxed out, but please say this. You cannot turn in late assignments. You cannot turn in late assignments. So you cannot turn in any late assignments. Did everyone hear that? I know, Thacker, right? I totally destroyed the point economy. That's my goal this semester, is not to destroy the point economy. You cannot turn in late assignments. You cannot turn in late assignments. So do not turn in late assignments. Do not turn in late assignments. They will not turn in physically. And don't email me. I know, like, I won't be mad, but I'll be like, I'm sorry, but I do not take late assignments. So there is the thing of knitting. And if your assignment will not knit, sometimes I'll purposely give someone like 1,000,000 points, like on the last day of class. Like, I'm like, dude, yes, I got it. I'm keeping to my point economy. I'm keeping to it. Just curious, but is R its own coding language? R is its own coding language. That is correct. Or is it the name of the software and it's used as another language like Python? Nick, you're at 200. That's a great question. R is its own coding language. And then R Studio is like a studio to use R in. But you can code in just R. So R Studio codes in R. So that is correct. R is the coding language. Really great question, Nick, right there. So R is like Python or C++. It's its own specific coding language. Really great question. No late assignments. Abby's got the 200 with that exclamation right there. Like it. We will have take-home tests. People really are fearful of the take-home tests. But when they take the first take-home test, they're like, wait a minute. This isn't too hard. I'm okay with this. The take-home test is not too bad. So make sure with the take-home tests, you take them very seriously. Every once in a while, I've seen people get low grades on them, but don't worry. Usually people get great grades. Weekly quizzes. We will have weekly quizzes where you get 2 attempts at the quiz. The lowest 2 grades will be dropped. I'm going to say will right there. So with these weekly quizzes, they mainly go over some of the coding stuff we've been doing. So I'll usually do coding at the end of class or during class, and I'll basically drop the answers. So if you're watching live, I'll sometimes be like, hey, question number 1, that's the answer. And for anyone who's been in my Tool 1 class, they'll tell you, Brian will work on these things. Brian will explain these things. You're not meant to get stuck on these weekly quizzes. They are meant to be basically a free portion of your grade. Talking about your grade right here, what are the free portions? Weekly quizzes and the assignments are basically the free portions of your grade. Now, here's what we could do. You ready for this? I got an idea today. We're going to do something better. Watch this. So using code, how about we say the free portion of your grade is 40%? And so with this right here, are the weekly quizzes open during a certain time? Yes. We should have them open basically all week. Waverly, great question. Waverly, you got your 200. I like that question a lot. We should have them open like for the period of all week. They won't be open for like just a day. So there'll be a longer period of time that the weekly quizzes are open. Great question right there. Do we get data camp points for fishing modules that are not in R? Timothy, totally. I appreciate people learning how to code. So if you want to learn SQL, Python, what else is in there? Maybe they have Java in there. If you learn that, Timothy, you get those points. I appreciate people learning how to code. And yeah, I'm more than happy to give you a little bit extra credit for learning how to code in another language. And this is what I call the free portion of your grade, is this 40%. And let's take a look right here. Let's do a vector. So I'm going to call this a vector, and I'm going to save into it. So you're learning a little bit about R right now as we talk about the class. So I'm going to code this in. And let's say, are the codes in DataCamp free as well? Yep, DataCamp is free. You get 6 months access as a UT student. Are the other coding languages free as well? Yep, they should be free, Sam. Great question right there. It should give you free access to everything with your 6 months access that we've set up with our class. You should not be paying for DataCamp. You should have 6 months free access, and you should have free access to all of them. Tell me if anything weird happens. It's the way it's been. I don't think I've changed anything, but just inform me if anything happens. So let's go here and let's go 50. Whoops, I don't know how to code anymore. I don't code for like a week, and then, okay, well, we know what you're going to get if you get 100. We got to put in lower grades. Wait, why are we doing it this way? Why don't we go sequence from 0 to 100 by 10? So if you look, this vector is now this. Does everyone understand that it's taking this sequence and storing it into vector? Who understands this right here? That the sequence right here is now stored into vector. Does that make sense? This has now become this. It's like taking this and putting it inside of here. So when I click this, it's that, because this right here is this. It's stored that into there. I call that store into. You can also do it where you store it to the other side. Like I could say store 5 into Brian. So can anyone solve for me Brian times Brian? What is Brian times Brian? The very hard math equation of Brian times Brian. Doesn't code for we. Oh man, the stocks meme. You got it right there. 50 points, Cullen, for cracking me up, and David, 50 points, Nick, Evan, Timothy, Andrew, Luke, Michaela, Daniel, 50 points, Connor, Daniel points, Rachel, 50 points. Great job, Hannah, Abby, Tyler, Sam. If you respond to 50 points, exactly, Brian times Brian equals 25. And so let's remove those. Those are just us kind of seeing how this works. But you can store into either way. That's why I use the arrow, and that is less than and minus. So that's what it is right here. Anon, I'll drop it in the chat. Always feel free to say, hey, Brian, put that code in the chat, and I'll put it in the chat. So what we're going to do is we're going to say you're going to make a 100 on this portion of the grade. And I can highlight it and put it in brackets like that. Can you do the other way? Yeah, you can right arrow, left arrow. I like to left arrow. It's just what I'm used to. It's the way I code. Everyone codes differently. If it works, it works. That's what we say. How does this compare to MATLAB? I like it a lot better. MATLAB, oof. I need an oof noise on here. What noises do I have right here? I got sad music. MATLAB's tough for me. It really is. It makes me sad. MATLAB has like given me many headaches. I need the oof noise. I'll put that on the soundboard. I'm trying to think what else I have that I can play. Oh, I can't play that. That was Pokemon. I'll get a copyright claim on the video. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's awesome, Nick. Yeah, get a hold of me about that. More stuff I can play on YouTube. I need the Sano Snap. You are right. So take a look, right? We got right here. Let's say this. Let's go to possible grades. I have an idea. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have so much fun with this. Okay, so check this out. And then guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna take the names of possible grades, and we're gonna save over the names of the possible grade with the vector. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what, I didn't do this as in depth with 201 yesterday, but check this out, and I'll drop all this code in the chat. Okay, so here is what you make on the not free portion of your grade. So this is your not free portion of your grade. Does that make sense? If you make a 0 on the not free portion, which is this 60%, and what am I talking about? If you're a little bit confused right now, I am talking about you have 25% of your grade that I would say is not really free, but I will help you on every assignment. I will help you on every weekly quiz. These are things where you can come to office hours, we will work on it, and people work on it and they might make like a 98 on the homework or a 95 on the homework, but overall, these are the grades people generally do really well on. So it's not free. I don't want anyone thinking, oh, Brian told me I get free hundreds on these. It's not free, but this is the easier portion of your grade. Does everyone understand that there's drops on these? And so some of the assignments are longer, they're tougher, but we will work on it. You can work on it together. Don't send each other work, but this is the easier portion of your grade. I think everyone gets that right there, right? So we understand this is the easier portion of your grade. So I shouldn't say free, I should say easier. Understood, love it. There we go, Zach, 50 points, and Muhammad, 50 points. So now going back here, if you were to get even just, let's go here to a 60 on the, if you were to get your free portion of the grade and make 60s on the test, you would have a C in the class. But you just need to make 80s on the test to make an A minus. And why am I saying an A minus? Because there's the bonus. So basically, by doing all the work, you can get one grade lower on the test and still make the next grade up. If you make B's on the tests, you can make an A in the class. If you make C's on the tests, you can make a B in the class. If you make D's or are basically failing the tests, you can still get a C in the class. So let's say you're like, Brian, this is the hardest class ever. Brian, I just can't pass this class. As long as you're doing all the work, you can make 50s on the tests. That's insane. Now, I'm not saying do that, but what I'm saying to you is do the assignments, do the weekly quizzes. Come to me and say, hey, Brian, I got 2 low grades on the weekly quizzes. I'm trying to get my grades up. Can you help me go over this? We will meet up. We'll work together on it, and I'll help you better understand the material, which will probably help you out for the test. But the key takeaway here is this, that you can get 1 grade higher. Like if you're making low B's on the test, you can still make an A minus in the class. So you could make 80s on every test and still make an A minus. And why isn't 88 an A minus? Why isn't 88 an A minus? Exactly, Carson right there. Yeah, it's all about doing all the homework. And why isn't 88 an A minus? The extra credit, boom. So you can still get it right here because of the bonus, which I want as many people to get, as many people as possible to get. That's what we got going on right here. Trying to think what else we have with syllabus. Here's the schedule. What is business analytics? What is regression? That's what we're doing today. And so you can see here, if you're wondering what we will do, that's what we are doing. Adding the class, posting or sharing materials. So here's a big thing. Do not post or share material to any sites. Do not take material from any sites like Study Blue, Course Hero, Chegg, because that is cheating if you take someone else's work. Do not post your work because you might encourage other people to cheat. So it's a violation of the student code of conduct to post your material to a site that someone else might use, since this is a graded assignment. It's basically like putting your work out there and being like, hey, you can just take my work and use it. And so don't do that. But here's the thing you can do. Especially since we're online, you can screen share with other students. Like let's say I'm working with someone and I'm screen sharing, you can do that. You can screen share with other students. That's okay. They can't directly copy down your code. They would have to literally be typing in everything. And like, here's, things can be pretty long. You're not going to be coding this much. Don't worry. This is something, that has been written over a long period of time, but I doubt that they're going to write all these lines of code. So don't worry. That is not, do I have an assignment open from earlier? Here's more what an assignment will look like. Is this 320 or let me decrease font size? I don't want to scare anyone because I think someone saw it and they're like, what are we doing? What have I gotten myself into? So here's an RMD file, and this is the extent of code inside of this. This is also, this is the very end of your course. So this is as complicated as code will get at the very end of your course. And you're kind of seeing some answers. We're changing up the assignments, but this is how complicated the code will get. So scatterplot matrix, this is just the code pairs, and then you can literally put pairs is, do I have pairs loaded up? And do I have a thing loaded up? Why don't I do a stock exchange? Let me do it with a smaller one. EX2, sure. EX2, and then the graphic appears right here. It's a little smushed, but did everyone see that code I just ran? This is a scatterplot matrix, and that's a code you'll write later. And all this code takes is, what data frame do you want a scatterplot matrix of? So does this look like a complicated code right here? It just asks, what data frame do you want a scatterplot matrix of? And if you're wondering what is a data frame, what does a data frame look like? It looks like just like another program. Oh, I don't got it down there. But what does this data frame kind of look like? Can anyone for 200 points tell me what this data frame kind of looks like it's in? Boom, Michaela right there, 200 points. It looks just like Excel. So all I'm doing is saying, hey, make a scatter plot matrix, and it's the pairs function right here. So the pairs function takes this argument, and that's the answer. It's a different scatter plot matrix, but that's the amount of coding you have to do right here. Load in auto, so that'd be data auto. I am doing this assignment as we speak, if I can spell. Oh, it's in the library reg class. 2 seconds. There we go. Library reg class load up. And then there we go right there. If you notice how it says reg class right here, there we go. I just did 2 chunks of code right there. And so hopefully this doesn't seem too complicated. This is towards the end of the semester. This was a summer assignment. So this is towards the end of the semester, but still, hopefully this doesn't seem too complicated right now. This is hopefully to give you a little bit of confidence and be like, okay, I'm good. This class won't kill me. This is like what you just saw right now is 2-3 months into this course. So you should be fine. So with this right here, do not cheat. If we catch you cheating, it makes my life not fun. I've already played the sad music today. So I'll hit the Pokemon button. Is this Pokemon right now? Let's drum roll. We need more stuff for the soundboard. I don't want to get copyright claimed either. No late assignments. The TAs, we already met with the TAs, and I'll be putting out office hours this weekend. So get ready for a bunch of office hours, and they're here to help out. Copyright, don't put the material on Canvas or on, don't put it on Course Hero, all that good stuff. And let's do this right now before we get to our first kind of lecture. What questions do you have right now? I know I covered a lot. We've covered a lot right now. Hopefully I've woken everyone up, given you some excitement for the morning. We're not done yet, but what do you have? TAs will be in the Discord. TAs will be in the Discord. We're going to put out a video this weekend about how to go to their office hours. And this is our first semester using Discord, so we're kind of figuring that out too. But TAs will be in office hours. Abby, 200 points right there. Next 3 questions all to get their 200 points for the day. Who has a few more questions? I'm going to have to the background right here, so I know I'm just taking you off. Who has a few more questions? Hopefully, I think the green screen, I need to readjust the green on it. Just assignments, quizzes, tests, no big projects or anything. There's take-home test, there's midterm final, take-home final, weekly quizzes, and on Canvas, and assignments. So Timothy, great question right there. Other than R and R Studio, is there anything else we need to download? Nope. Andrew, great question. Just R and R Studio. Just R and R Studio. Any other last questions? I've been getting Zoom links from a different section. Is that right? Yeah, I think he sent it out to all sections. I try to send out, so this is the first semester I think that Dr. Emery has used a merged section. So he can send it just to his section. So you should just be here. If you're in my section, boom. Great question, Emily, about the lockdown browser. Never going to 200 points if I read your question right here. The exams will be in lockdown browser. So your exams will be in a lockdown browser. I'll send out a video about how to do the exams. When you take the exams, you do get a cheat sheet. So you need to show your cheat sheet front back. It won't be your phone. Don't use your phone as your cheat sheet. That'd be bad. But you can use your cheat sheet, and then you need to kind of be looking at the camera and look down at your cheat sheet. But you don't want to generally do things like, I mean, I know it's hard with a cheat sheet, especially I'm kind of showing the fun of having longer hair and having a cheat sheet, but you just really don't want to, it flags videos. We'll look over the reasons. If it's clear that you're kind of looking at your cheat sheet, we're not going to do anything, but we just want to make sure there's no one in the room, that you're not doing anything suspicious. We'll have a way going over what's acceptable to take the test. I'll put out a video on how to do it. Cracking me up. Will the Kahoots be posted after? Because, yep, Tyler, yep, they'll be posted after. So everything will be posted. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, so you're saying your hair is long too? Is that what it is? Oh man, I need to get with the times. So I love it. Everyone's getting long hair. Is there a how to use Discord tips anywhere? Yep. Dennis is going to put out a video on how to use Discord. You guys are cracking me up. Do you guys see the green craziness down here, or am I the only one? I need to readjust the green screen. Come on, green screen. It's because that area's dark. I can't readjust the lights right now. So the amount of time I've worked on readjusting my green screen is insanity. Will we use R during the exams? No R during the exams. No R during the exams. R will be on the take home though. Great questions. Let's take a few more right here, and then we'll do what is business analytics with the last 15 minutes of class. So I think that might do it for questions. we've now got, it's lecture time. Let's hop over and we'll do a last fun thing here to end class, but lecture time. Let's hop over to the lecture. Perfect. So we're on the lecture screen. All the green fuzziness has gone away. I don't know how, but it is. Are there multiple choice questions? Yep. On the exam, there will be multiple choice questions. There will be multiple choice. And that's what the weekly things we want you to kind of see are. The weekly quizzes are meant to kind of give you some kind of, inspiration for the exams to be like, okay, I can do this. When we have to do these lockdown tests, the weekly quizzes should give you kind of some confidence for those. With that, I do like things like this, so I know where to timestamp it. That's my timestamp this section, Brian. With that, we're going to talk about a little bit of intro to business analytics right now, kind of what is business analytics. So let's do this. So you might be wondering, what is business analytics? Business analytics is data-driven decisions. Someone tell me their major. It can be business analytics or whatever it is. If it is business analytics, then I'll be like, well, you can work for companies like dunnhumby. I know people working for sports teams, supply chain management. Oh, it's all about, they do a ton of time series analysis because everything there is on a time frame. So you'll see things like ARIMA models. You'll see things like predicting, like forecasting. Have you ever heard of Mohammed right there? Oh, Mohammed. I remember Mohammed is supply chain too. I was looking at it. Andrew and Mohammed, have you ever heard of like forecasting demand and everything like that? Like Thacker and Tyler right there, supply chain. So many supply chain, be it business analytics and supply chain. Man, supply chain is awesome. Supply chain is great. Not that there's any bad majors, but supply chain at UT, one of the top majors. Does anyone ever hear, it looks like they've heard of forecasting demands, logistics and forecasting? Boom. That's all analytics right there. So we really believe in using, business analytics for things like supply chain. When you have to forecast demand, when you have to make predictions into the future, this is total business analytics part of supply chain. So they go really well together. Accounting, that's all numbers and, portfolios. Please tell me if I get accounting wrong. But when you look at it, it's all data and accounting. Like accounting is literally spreadsheets, or maybe I'm wrong. You'd be like, no, Brian, it's not in finance. But when you're talking about spreadsheets, when you're talking about running numbers, when you're talking about trying to talk about differences and where are they coming from, when we look at different accounts, that's all what you're talking about with analytics. So if you're doing accounting or finance, if you're in the Haslam College of Business, it all goes together. Gotta love Excel and accounting. Yeah. And then hopefully we inspire some love for R, because you just saw it a moment ago. It's basically like an Excel spreadsheet, and you can do so much more. You can automate things with R. You can have it just run code on a spreadsheet. So you can, just so you can see, right? I'll make it smaller here. If you were to have right here, I got to load the package. So packages are basically like code you can load in. So read Excel, and now I can do read Excel, and I can read in an Excel datasheet. So this right here will read in an Excel datasheet. So let's say I had like weekly reports, and like it's called like 120, 21, and then .xlsx. It'll say I can't find the file, so the file doesn't exist. But I could read that in right here, and I could save it into like a weekly. I could save it into that object. So this right here is me reading in a file that does not exist. I'm just writing a fake command to read it in, but then I can do all the manipulations on it inside of R. I can make graphics. I can do a lot of fun stuff, and you'll see that in a lot of the videos I make. But you can read in Excel things into R very quickly right here. So just kind of showing what can be done, because a lot of the skills you're learning right here can be used for your other classes. And that's kind of our goal. It's like, hey, say this is not a self-contained class. You can use these skills for your accounting, for your finance, all that good stuff. So we see here so many, and I love the Haslam College of Business, man. So, and if you didn't see, give a shout out, but the Haslam's just donated another $40 million, which is insane. And that is just, I wish I could live a life where I get to like do so many, because all the students, all the people that will help, it's so awesome. And I'm really glad that we have the support, because a while back, I remember before we were the Haslam College of Business, but they've done so much to enrich our university and our business school. If you edit the Excel that you read it in, does it edit in art? Nope, they're not auto-linked, but you could reread it in. You can also save it out of Excel. You can save it back into it. Michaela, great questions right there. That is awesome. And so all these different things right here, we'll learn throughout the class. You've probably done regression before, but we're going to do regression at an even higher level. Now, one of the things we will work on right here, thank you so much, Colin. So one of the things we will work on right here is understanding relationships within data. understanding. You guys are awesome. We want to understand what is connected between two variables. We've got variable A, we've got variable B. What connects them together? So is there a causal relationship? Is there just an association? We're going to have lots of fun doing this. You guys are making me smile. Thank you so much. You guys are what makes this. If you weren't here chatting, if you weren't here having fun, it'd be boring. We're not here to be boring. We're here to have fun. All the love. Vols help vols. And regression modeling is not about mathematical equations. Yeah, Colin can be my VP. I like that. And so with this right here, this is something we say a lot. Regression modeling and what we will do in this class is not mathematical laws. We have a famous saying, which I wish it was right here. All models are wrong. Some are useful. And a student in my 474 class coming up next, I believe, after this class, literally was in an internship this summer where they're like, oh, George Box, all models are wrong, some are useful. And she's like, I know that saying. And it really goes back to the 2016 election. Not getting political right here, but what's very interesting about it is people say like, oh, the models were wrong. 530. I'll show you. They were kind of wrong. But the where is it? I'm going to Nate Silver's 538. He has so many sites on this. Here's the live forecast. This is what I'm looking at. Okay, good. And we should be able to see this pretty well. Let me hop over to the main screen capture and let's take a look. Okay, so one thing I want you to notice right here about this that most people never see is there's a confidence interval. So when they started the night right here, Hillary was expected to be at 302, but then look down here. Does everyone see where this blue is at? Does everyone see the blue down here and the blue up here? This is a 95% confidence interval due to their simulations. And if you look where Hillary ended up at the end of the night, down here, that's at the very bottom of their 95% confidence interval. And that's why we do things like confidence interval. And here's the thing. Look at how much overlap there was between the two from Nate Silver's 538. Nate Silver showed some uncertainty. It's like, well, Hillary might get as much as this much. Trump might get as much as this much. So yes, Hillary was predicted to win, but there was uncertainty. And this is what statistics does. This is the literal importance of statistics, is that whenever we give an estimate, we should give things like the uncertainty in that estimate. And I think a lot of people fail to see that. They just want to hear the estimate, like, okay, how many electoral votes will this person get? And then we say, oh, they'll get 301, and this person will get 236. And we shouldn't say will, we should say things like we expect them to get. The model predicts them to get 301, but they could get as low as like 220. They could get as high as like 380. And then what do we see at the end of the night? We see that they were towards the lower end of their confidence interval, and this one was towards the higher end of the confidence interval. No politics, no, we're not, don't worry. It's just how models work. All models are wrong. But think about this right here. Although this model was wrong, we saw throughout the night that it became more useful. It became a better model with more information. And what is happening, going back to 201 right here, as we go further into the night, what is happening to this confidence interval right here? The confidence intervals are getting wetter as we go further into the night. As we go further into the night, you can see the confidence intervals getting wetter. Who knows in the chat? Max points right here on the line. We're trying to max points everyone today. What is happening as we go further into the night? Narrower, tighter, because there's less uncertainty. Just think about that. As we go further into night, there's less uncertainty about who will win. Further into the night, less uncertainty. This is the genesis of good statistics, because we know we can be less uncertain as we have more information about what will happen. So let's go back here to the lecture screen. And what's really awesome about this is this all goes to data. We need as much data as we can get, and it's mind-blowing. But I remember as a kid hearing about a gigabyte and being like, whoa, that is so much data. But even crazier now, terabytes. And between here is petabytes. Petabytes are between here, then exabytes and zettabytes. My favorite thing is Doc Brown in Back to the Future says 1.21 gigawatts, even though it's gigawatts and gigabytes, because they really didn't use that terminology much back then. But he's like 1.21 gigawatts. It's 1.21 gigawatts. But they didn't know any better. Sorry, Doc Brown. Sorry, Christopher Lloyd. So we have this ability to store data now that is beyond what we've ever had, but it'll always be beyond. Like in the 80s, they were probably like, whoa, we can store a megabyte. 1,000, a megabyte. Oh my gosh. And then someone's storing, wait, am I correct on that? A megabyte, gigabyte, yeah. So yeah, they were impressed probably. They're like, no way, this is the most data. We can put it on this little disk. I mean, it's floppy. It's just this floppy disk. Wow, we've got this. 5.25 floppy disks. No one knows what I'm talking about. So companies have tons and tons of data. And what are we using this data for? We're using it to make data-driven decisions. So we're using this to make all these data-driven decisions right here. And I promise you, the algorithms they have are so complex. We'll probably play more videos as class goes on and we'll have more fun. But one of my favorite videos is kind of the machine learning algorithms where you can see a machine learning how to walk over time. Like they do these genetic algorithms where it'll show something walking and then it'll like fall over and it'll learn from its mistakes and it'll literally evolve. So genetic algorithms are based on biological evolution, and it'll show how the genetic algorithm evolves, learning from randomness and going for a fitness function, kind of like AI, exactly. Are the PowerPoints posted to Canvas? Yes, under modules. Under modules, they are posted. Riley, 200 points, amazing question. Under modules, do they store the data on servers, in data frames, data warehouses? Thacker, you're totally correct. And they actually gave a tour of the UT kind of servers, not where we store the info, but UT has its own servers. But you're right, there's these data warehouses, Thacker. There's so much data being created every day that it's nearly just endless data, and we have to have places to store it. Does unstructured data take more storage than structured? That's a really good question, Mohammed. I would say more storage because especially you can clean the data, and that's a big thing that we'll talk about is like cleaning data, making data accessible and usable. And then a huge thing right now, I will mention this, is data security. And we're even trying to develop courses on that and trying to put out more information on data security because it's a big thing. You know, a lot of information's out there, so we have to be concerned about the security of that information, keeping it secure, and having people have confidence in what we're doing with data. There's things that don't deal with that much. Like if you're doing like baseball analytics and trying to increase like ticket sales at a stadium, not that big of a deal. If you're working for like a credit card company, much bigger deal, much bigger deal, much bigger deal. Mohammed's right, clean data is tough. Is there a code in R to clean the data? There's a lot of different codes to clean data. There's a really cool package called mice. I'll show that at the end of class. Remind me at the end of class. I'll give someone 50 extra points on top of whatever they get. If they remind me, say, hey, Brian, show me that package mice. It's a really funny package. I like it. This is funny and fun. So here we go. The demand, what we're looking at, this is the demand that we've seen, the growth, and we see tons more business analytics students in the marketplace. What's so funny is when I started out at UT, when I came back for grad school, I think we were the first and the only business analytics graduate program. And now they're everywhere. They are everywhere. You can go to Google and Google Business Analytics Graduate Program. You'll get tons of online universities and everything trying to have you join up. Do realize this, it's very important where you go to grad school and where people go from that grad school. So I always encourage students to look at the placement rate and the salaries of any graduate school they go to, as well as any undergraduate program. But I always want students to pick the graduate school that fits their needs. Can you cover how to import data into R? And the AWS, the Amazon Web Services. Oh, we could cover that first class. We could talk a little bit about that stuff, and I'll do it at the end of class right here. Carson, so good to hear that. Yep, because we are really, the Haslam College of Business especially is at the top tier, I believe. We've been mentioned in a lot of like national rankings and stuff like that, and we really work towards getting our students into the best jobs and giving you the best skill sets. So we decided about 5-6 years ago, I guess it's about 6 years ago now, to have our students code, because we've heard from employers since then that our students are coming out with a really good base of knowledge. Came here for supply chain and business analytics and in-state tuition. BACA, that's awesome. So what do we want to do with business analytics? We want to identify the customer's needs and everything else. Examples of business analytics, stolen bases. If Julio's ever in the chat, we're going to have so much fun. But so one of these days you'll see Julio join the chat. But I think Carson was with Julio in class. And Julio has mentioned, this maybe is one of our last slides here, it's just more business analytics examples. But one thing Julio has mentioned is that he's seeing more and more in Major League Baseball that people are using statistics. He was even like telling people how to use statistics and drawing out models and stuff and using it because they were like asking questions. And he's like, oh yeah, it's the normal curve and this is what we expect. And I was like, yes, Yes, he was like 68, 95, 99.7. He was like, this is the area underneath it. And Moneyball, everyone knows what's going on right here. This is not a joke. People are actually using statistics all the time. We're going to show one last picture to end class right here. Yeah, so we just barely got enough time. But this is what cracks me up, is when people talk about statisticians. How did I mess up spelling that name? When people talk about business analytics and statisticians, usually, oh yeah, you guys are seeing it right now. They have all these people right here. Here's Paul De Podesta. Does anyone know who played this guy right here? Does anyone know who played him in, here, I'll bring the picture back over a second here. Who played this guy in a movie? So this guy right here, let's take a picture of him. Worked for the Cleveland Browns, who was in Moneyball. Nothing against this guy. Who played this guy in a movie? Who know who portrayed this guy in a movie? Jonah Hill. Logan's right for 200 points right there, and that's the end of class. This Jonah Hill played Paul De Podesta. No, he's not the Brad Pitt character. He's Jonah Hill. So, yep. And then Cheun, tell me if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Chequin. So please tell me if I pronounce it correctly. But and Moneyball is a great movie. But what I want to mention with all this, and let me put up my end of class screen right here, and then we'll take questions. Class is over. Cool. And then I'll hang out for another 5-10 minutes or so because I'll start the next streamer soon. But can you show the mice package? Yes, Michaela, 50 points. I'll show that here in 2 seconds. So let me show that right now. Actually, I can. So mice is pretty cool. So what mice does is it actually looks for missingness. And so library mice. So mice looks for missingness. So you type in MD pattern, which is the missingness pattern. And so we'll use auto, which I think has no missingness. And that's my favorite part about it. My favorite part is it does this. So what this does right here, yes, Nick, I'll throw you the extra 52 right there for helping remind me too. You're welcome, Colin. Thank you so much. I always try to end class on time. If I stay over, do not worry. You do not need to be here. I just take questions at the end. You're not meant to be here extra. I don't teach new things. There's nothing you need to know after class ends. We start on time. We end on time. That's the way we roll. So this is just classes over, taking questions time. It's just like, if you have questions, it's like, like, hey, everybody, you can go, you can leave. And then I'm just like staying around. You're like, hey, Brian, I have a question. Oh yeah, tell us about Texas. So once the world gets a little more back to normal, we've got so many great places to eat. There's a really good like steak place near us. So definitely want to try that. It's so good to see everybody being so happy and positive in here. So we want to try the steak place. You're from Dallas? I saw Dark Knight in Dallas. Did I see it in Dallas? I think I did. And it was, oh my gosh, it was a decade ago when I was working as an archaeologist. I worked in Paris and Lufkin and Nagadocious. Trying to think what else. I don't know. But no, Texas is pretty nice. It's a pretty chill place. I know the Walmart and Target pretty well. That's about all I know. We'll take some more questions right here. But if you're looking what the MD pattern thing does, is it actually shows you the patterns of missingness in the data. So you can see if there's any missingness patterns. I don't know if I have anything loaded up with missing data in it. Oh, this has missing data. This is about to be craziness on the screen. Oh, there's no missingness in that data. Figure too large. Yep, that's going to be a problem. Let's try this. Invalid graphic state. No, we broke it. Oh, there it is. There it is. So we are getting it now. How did you go from archaeology to coding? So my undergraduate's actually in psychology. Here, let me go to the fun background. See you, Carson. I'll see you later. So my background's actually in psychology, but my friend Cody, who's still doing archaeology in Australia, he got me into archaeology because I was like, well, wait a minute. I can't use my psych degree. Nothing is psych degrees, but I couldn't really find a good usage for it. And I came back to UT to do statistics and I loved it. And I started doing business analytics and that's how I started doing it. Just came back to UT. I came back for a second undergraduate, Nick. So I came back to get a second undergraduate degree and didn't finish the undergrad because I went and started doing a graduate degree. So part of me thinks I should go back and start doing the undergrad degree. More questions. Who has more questions? Feel free to ask. I think I have it on I think I don't have it on ultra low latency. My neighbors are like hammering. Can you send the new link for Discord? Yes, Muhammad, email me and I'll send out the new link. Email me and I'll send out the new link. Where's the points sheet on Canvas? Really good question. Here, let's drop that in the chat right here. Let's see. I will put that in the chat. I keep getting afraid my neighbors are like, why is this guy up at 8:30? 8:30 is not that early. Yeah, I think they're working on stuff there. So I didn't put that. 2 seconds here. Let me find the Google's form. And so this says stat to a 1 extra credit form, but you can enter in your extra credit in here. And here we go. So there it is right there. There's the extra credit form right there. And so that should bring you to it. Awesome. Shaquin, awesome. And people see their points for today. And you also get a bunch of points for interacting. And we'll add on those points. Any other last questions? You're welcome, Winston. Was in Texas this weekend for our connector flight and had a Whataburger biscuit for the first time. Oh, I like the Whataburger burgers. I haven't had their biscuits, but it's a little overpriced. Like, I'd rather have a Five Guys. Like, if it was, so like the best is do this, Thacker. Are you back in Knoxville, Thacker? If you're back in Knoxville, go to ECVR. You got some Whataburger right here. Connor, that's awesome. CFA, what is CFA? So, go to Stock and Barrel burgers. Stock and Barrel. Is there a Whata coming to Knoxville, or was that a joke? I love Stock and Barrel. I thought I heard a Whataburger was coming to Knoxville, and then people were like, that's a joke. So Stock and Barrel is awesome. Best burgers in Knoxville. Yeah, I'm all about some Stock and Barrel. We need to be sponsored by Stock and Barrel. You know what? I'd love it if like local business, like, I don't know if we can do that. Like if we could get like a $25 gift certificate to a local business, or maybe I'll just buy them. Like I'll tell Stock and Barrel, because, you know, local businesses right now maybe need it more than maybe like, hey, give us things, but maybe we'll do that. Like we'll do a $25 Stock and Barrel. Yeah, I don't know if it's real, Michaela. I think I've heard rumors of that too, but I think it's like one of those, oh, Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I haven't had Chick-fil-A in a long time. I haven't had any fast food in a long time, since like February. Hey, Brian, Stat Nation, Ben Austin. Yes, you are right. I've told them, Ben Austin. It's so good to see you. Oh, Ben's about to flex some points on everyone right here. See, they don't have these places in Georgia. And oh, I'm so sorry. Streamlabs, yes. I've reallocated the points, Ben. I've fixed the point economy, and I will not break it. This is the semester Brian doesn't break the point economy, because I put the max points. I'm going to try not to break the rules so much. I have this tendency to break the point economy. What do you think of the new backgrounds, Ben? I've been trying a new few things here. You guys make the class awesome. Oh, Ben, you can always join in, Ben. Wait, Ben, I want you to say this in the chat. Ben, I want you to say, the first comment I want you to say is how maybe afraid you were of coding before this class. I don't know if you had coding experiences beforehand. Oh, I did show mice, you bet. And so Ben, and I'll show it again. So how afraid of coding were you before this class? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, or you can say like, before this class, my fear of coding was this. When I was like, oh no, I'm gonna code in this class. And then by the end of class, how did you feel about coding? So Ben's gonna drop some comments here about what they thought about coding, like at the start of class, and then at the end of class, what did they think about coding? And I'm going to go over to my other background right here. So let me get in position here. So here we are. There we go. I'll go over to my guitars. I mean, not my guitars. I didn't say that. I mean, my basses. So there we go. I need to sit correctly. Sit in my chair. This is my chair. That's not my chair back here. I can't show mice. It was probably an 8 before this class, and after it was probably a 4. Yeah. I think it gets easier as time goes on. I need to work on that green screen right there. Can I? I'm going to try one thing right now. Oh, wow. Because it's a bad idea. I shouldn't do these things. should not do these things. Why does it look so crazy? Fixing green screen as we talk. Okay, I think that's better. Did that fix the other screen? Let me go back. Yeah, I think it fixed it. It's because it's like morning and stuff, so hopefully this doesn't happen every class. I hope, because I don't want to be changing every class. The mice package, let me show it on the main screen right here. So the mice package, it shows you the missingness in the data. Try and talk a little bit quieter. Hopefully my neighbors weren't. And so one of my favorite things is if you have no missingness, it actually shows you the cat right here. So it shows you this little cat right here that found no mice. So I think it's awesome. Heading out, you're welcome. You're welcome, Abby. Glad you enjoyed the class. After the first assignment, I was nervous because homework 1 was the hardest assignment of the class, but it got easier. Ben, definitely. And I'll try to reiterate to everybody that it does, the first assignment might be a little bit difficult. Homework 1. Oh, that'd be craziness. Who knows? Maybe we will. Chelsea and I were listening to some podcasts. We were listening to like Swedish. We were just like literally typing in random podcasts. Would you like me to DM you on Discord and email you stuff? Yeah. DM me and send me all the stuff, Nick. Get a hold of me and be like, hey, here's the stuff. Here's the information. Here's the sound files or whatever. And so, yeah, go ahead and do that, Nick. So awesome. And yeah, I think that does it because I'll be starting a new class here in 15 minutes. Oh, that's awesome, Ben. Congratulations. And so if you're looking for me, I'm going to be in the next stream here. So Brian is about to go over to the next stream right here. So we're going to end this stream. Go ahead, leave comments after this stream is over. Hit like, do whatever you want. Are you open to doing some company visitation workshops this semester? Yeah. If a company wants to come in and speak, we have Frito-Lay coming in later this semester. We've already got Frito-Lay coming in. I think they're trying to get interns, and they're going to do an event. So they're going to come in and speak to us. Then I'm going to take that and put it on YouTube. But any company that wants to come in, if a company wants to do a workshop, we could hold special time for that. I'm always open. We're all about like getting students involved with companies and helping them find what they want to do as a career. So we're totally up for that. So see, Ben. Oh yeah, you. Oh, this spring, awesome. You consider starting your own podcast listening. I did get Chelsea and all to be more fun. You're welcome, Thacker. I will see everybody later. Let's put up that outro screen. I will see everybody later. Procter & Gamble would be happy to set up an event with this class. Ryan, you bet. Procter & Gamble would be great. We would be more than happy to have Procter & Gamble swing by and set up an event. And we can also Zoom them in. Check this out. You ready? We've even got, where's my interview thing right here? Look at this. I've got this professional desk right here. We've got Julio in the background. We've got my shades right there. You can literally see my window. Oh, now you can't see the window. Wow, magic. It's almost like I can change things. So there we go. So we'd be more than happy to have them here on Zoom, and I can Zoom someone in through this window. Julio's the only person we're Zooming in right now. With that, I'm going to start preparing for the next class. Let's throw up that bumper. Feel free to email me questions. I will see you later. Bye, everybody.